help us from the heat. Noah is saying it's going to cool down. We got to get through today, though. And listen, I'm not talking about full fall. It's just like a few days of a break, which we'll take it at this point. John Skinner is our guest. Fall means that leaves are dropping, and while it may be a major chore, John Skinner is here to tell us that leaf litter actually can be put to good use. And John, I was actually just talking with you on the commercial break earlier about how I was noticing the leaves starting to change a little bit, but unfortunately, we're not going to probably have a very vibrant fall.
Yeah, we live in an oak hickory forest, so our normal colors are going to be yellow, the tan, the brown in the woods. But there's the highlights. You may have that individual yard that's got color in it from the maples or some other trees that can get color. But it's so dry, it's going to be hard for the plants to do that in many locations.
Yeah, we've just been so dry. Well, with all the leaves falling, there are some things that you can do to put them to good use because people's yards are going to start filling up with leaves.
Yeah, your yard is going to fill up with leaves soon. It's not a pain in the rear end, it's a resource. Those leaves are holding nutrients that the plants can use in the future, but you got to leave them on site. And so in your yard, you can rake them up and you make mulch piles around your trees. You can compost them with your other leaf litter and lawn litter and use that in your garden. Or you can mulch them with your lawnmower. 6 pounds of leaves, I think that's right, 6 inches of leaves is not a lot of leaves, but it's a lot when you're trying to rake it.
Yes.
Mow it multiple times with the mulching mower, get particles, and it will crumble down in the grass and add those nutrients back to your lawn.
You were telling me in the commercial break, though, oh, and that was a picture. If you guys will pop that back up, we were talking about this in the commercial break. You were saying this actually can be very beneficial for your tree if you do this with your leaves.
Yeah, you're mimicking the forest in this situation. That's a small white oak, maybe about 4 or 5 years old, but you can see how big that ring is.
Yeah.
You're trying to mimic the forest situation. Those leaves will settle down into a mat, maybe a few inches tall instead of the 12 inches sitting there.
Right.
And that will become the mulch layer for your tree. And you won't have to deal with it anymore. Very little weeding occurs once you get that thick layer there.
And why don't more people do that? Because we just don't know about it, or?
Some don't know about it. Some don't like the aesthetic.
Okay.
There's a reason people buy the colored mulch. They like the appearance.
Sure.
Why folks down south buy pine straw. They like the appearance. Both work. I just go the cheap route and use my leaves.
And well, it won't hurt if you want to use your leaves to give them an extra barrier. It won't hurt if you put it on top of the mulch, will it?
No, won't hurt at all.
Won't hurt anything at all. And then about using them in your gardens, that's a cool way that I didn't realize that you could use those.
Well, the leaves are going to add organic matter to your soil regardless of how you use them. Some are harder to work with, some than others. Things you do want to avoid is you generally don't want to add walnut leaves to a garden. Right. Because the juglone can cause issue with some of your garden crops.
Okay.
But other than that, the oaks, the maples, the elms, they're all going to be good. Get a soil test, and then you know what nitrogen or lime or whatever else you need to add to your garden to make it appropriate. But as you add organic matter, your soil's going to get more friable, better for your plants.
John, thank you so much. You're always a wealth of information. And I honestly asked you during the thing, I said, I was trying to tell Noah about the bear counting that happens in Missouri, and you actually shared that that's actually happening right now.
Yeah, the department always does an annual count, trying to estimate how many bears are in the state.
Yeah.
Based on that estimate, they will set a harvest rate.
Right.
And the goal is to have which I don't know the number, there's a set number they want of bears total in the state, and they'll adjust the harvest to try to keep around that magic number.
Alrighty, well, good information. We know we'll be talking a lot more about that in the coming days after this fatal bear attack. John, thank you so much. We certainly appreciate you being here with us.
Thank you.
Noah, more tracking another warm day for us before we finally start seeing some average temperatures.
Yes, definitely, Tiffany. As we go further in throughout the rest of the day today, we're really going to be above average, but after that, that's when we're going to start seeing a little bit of relief in the forecast. I'll have more details about that. Here's a look at your almanac.